I'm proud today to announce that statewide, in the entire state of South Carolina, in this calendar year, there's going to be, or fiscal year rather, there's going to be $42 million that are going to be dispersed to groups and agencies all throughout South Carolina. And in this area alone, $2 million in non-taxpayer money. This is grant money that is funded through fines and fees paid by people who have gone through the criminal justice system, is going to be coming to this community, which consists of Cherokee, Chester, Lancaster, and York counties. That's $2 million that are going to the men and women and other agencies like them who serve those people who have been the victims of crime.
All these are from fees and assessments that are collected from individuals or corporations that are found criminally liable and have to pay a fee, and all that's put into a fund that is distributed out to the states, which we love because there's some justice here in the funds being paid by criminals going into a fund that helps victims of crime who they have harmed.
When your child is so senselessly murdered, you lose the capability to do normal things, like remember things, and just make sense out of life. So having an advocate that helped walk me through what I was going to encounter next, and even the day before court allowed me to come to the courthouse and show me the courtroom and explain to me where the man that took my daughter's life would be standing, and just the kindness and compassion. And I can't imagine having to face this process alone without Samantha. And she's now also my friend as a result of the kindness and compassion that she showed throughout this process.
In the PD region, which includes Florence, Clarendon, Chesterfield, Sumter, and Williamsburg counties, they're going to be receiving just under $4 million. And in the Horry, Georgetown communities, nearly $2.5 million. So we're talking about approximately $6.5 million coming to this region of the state of South Carolina alone is coming to the men and women who are standing up here with me today.
I was introduced to the Durant Children's Center after my sister was ambushed in a shooting on October the 3rd, 2018, and died from her injuries 19 days later on October the 22nd, 2018. The purpose of my initial visit to the center was to get my daughter some grief counseling because she was very close with her auntie. They spent time together every day. Elena referred to Maxine as her other mommy. I just want to say thank you so much to Ms. Faye and the Durant Center for being there to help my daughter with the loss of her auntie, Farrell Maxine Turner.
In this region of South Carolina alone, there's going to be approximately $11 million going to this region, which includes Beaufort, Berkeley, Charleston, Dorchester, and Hampton counties. And if you look up here, you can see many of the agencies and organizations represented here today. These are the men and women who 365 days a year are out there serving and supporting those people who have been victimized in crime. And when you're going through the criminal justice system, it's scary enough to have been a victim of crime, but sometimes it can be equally scary when you have to show up in court or you have to go through the very muddy process of the criminal justice system and not knowing what's going on. And many of these agencies have housed within them someone whose sole purpose in life is to show support to the men and women who desperately need it.
8 years ago, I was in self-preservation mode. I was 2 months out of a physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, and spiritually abusive relationship that had consumed my life for 4.5 years. I credit my time with Anna at Hopeful Horizons with allowing my healing to really take place. I never paid a dime for Anna's time, thanks to grants like the one that Hopeful Horizons is receiving today. She worked with my work and childcare schedule so that I didn't have to miss time with either. The weight of those two burdens, money and time, being removed from my shoulders allowed me to truly focus on healing. Having access to a mental health professional who is trained to work with domestic violence survivors was invaluable. Too often, I've heard stories of survivors who were made to feel worse by the counselors or therapists they sought help from. I wish everyone could have an Anna. My hope is that one day everyone who needs it will have access to a place like Hopeful Horizons, and that maybe one day somewhere like Hopeful Horizons will no longer be needed. In closing, I'd like to share something with anyone who is listening that may be experiencing domestic violence. 8 years ago, I was you. 8 years ago, the man who claimed to love me choked me until I passed out. When I lost consciousness, I saw a little boy and girl watching us. We didn't have any children, but had been discussing marriage and a family. In that moment, I knew I had to leave for good this time. I couldn't let my children grow up thinking, this is what love looked like, felt like, sounded like. They deserved better. A month later, I ended it for good. Within 2 years, my beautiful daughter was born, and just over 2 years later, my handsome son. I credit my children with saving my life before I ever met their father. 1 in 4 women will experience domestic violence in their life. 1 in 7 men will experience domestic violence in their life. If an abuser is prone to choking you, he is more likely to kill you. You are worth more. I didn't think I was, but I knew my future children were, and that is what saved me. If you are in an abusive relationship, please know that there is a better life waiting for you. It won't be easy. It won't be rainbows and butterflies all the time, but you will be alive. You will find peace. There are people out there who want to help you. When you're ready, please call them. You are loved. Thank you for this opportunity to speak today, and thank you for the grant that's being given to Hopeful Horizons. The lives it will change can't be counted, but I know 3 who will be forever grateful, my babies and I. Thank you.
The Midlands of South Carolina, which includes Aiken, Kershaw, Lexington, Orangeburg, Richland counties, as well as the state agencies. These counties alone are receiving $11 million of the $42 million statewide. That money is going to be going to serve the victims of crime.
A lot of the patients who come in, they are traumatized physically, emotionally, mentally. They have lapses of memory. Sometimes with children talk outside of the box, where a lot of people don't understand what they're trying to say. So we spend quality time with all of these patients. A normal exam for us can take anywhere from 4 to 9 hours, depending on the number of injuries, depending on the age of the patient, and depending on what the victim actually remembers when they get there. So we are looking to expand out to cover more trauma victims at the Richland campus. And we are actually working with a couple of more hospitals in the area to reach out to them to see if we can actually provide direct services to their patients. Without these grants, we could not expand out and we could not provide the services that we do for all of the victims that we see. We want to continue with this program. We want it to thrive. We want it to grow. And we want more victims to come in and see us so that we can provide them direct services with advocacy agencies that arrive with us, for military, for EMS. We want everybody to understand that you can come to the hospital and you can be seen. You will not receive a bill, and you can have all of this done without the effect of any trauma being added to what you're already going through.
And if you out there have gone through some horrible crime and you have been victimized in some way, whether or not it's been reported, investigated, or prosecuted, please know that there's a community of people out there ready to serve you, to support you, and to help you through this very difficult time in your life. If you are already in the system and your case is being investigated and or prosecuted, or it's already been prosecuted, understand that our helping hand doesn't end when the case ends. We are here to serve and support you, the survivors of crime, for as long as you need it. And I can't underscore enough how important this grant money is, and I can't underscore how important the people that use this grant money are. And thank you to each and every one.